And one day, they found him on the floor, dead.
How old was he?
In his 40s, 50s.
My name is Cynthia Valentine. I live in Port St. Lucie, Florida.
My name is Marjorie Delior.
I was born in Fort Pierce, Florida, in the Lawnwood Hospital across the street from the home I grew up in.
I was born in Haiti and I came to the United States in 1985. I was 13 years old. My mom sent for me and didn't know how to speak any English, but I went to middle school and then high school and college, and so I've been here for about 30 years now, and here I am.
I was born in New York, and then we moved to Newark, New Jersey. You know, we weren't country, but we weren't city. So we used to do the bike riding things and the playing out in this big open lot, and my dad always had a vegetable garden and a grapevine, I won't say orchard because it wasn't that big, but he had grapes, he grew grapes and things like that, and we always had work to do, and you know, it was good.
Well, when I was younger, it used to just be me and my mom living in an apartment, and then we moved into a bigger house with the rest of my family, and like till this day we're like really close. She's more of a best friend than a mom, until like I do something and she's like nope, no. You know, but me and her are really close. She and I are really close.
Well, I was raised by my grandmother most of my life. My grandma adopted me when I was 7 months, I was told, and I live with her since, and I've always lived with her in Haiti, and then when we came here, I moved in with my mom, and then she passed in 1986. So I barely knew my mom. Most of my life was with my grandma. My grandma passed this past October. My grandma was in a nursing home here in Florida, and then her and my uncle made the decision to move her to Atlanta. Me and my daughter, we were going to get our nails done at the mall, and my uncle called me and said that my grandma was in the hospital and it didn't look good. And my first thought was, you know, I gotta book a ticket. I gotta book a flight to Atlanta so I can at least, if this is her last minute, so I can be with her. I didn't get a chance to, because he called me later that night and said that she had passed. So I didn't really get the chance to say goodbye.
When my mom passed 2 years ago, she was here at home. I kept her here instead of putting her in a nursing home. At first, she had a stroke, and we thought, you know, we'd all get through that. Then they found she had breast cancer, and she did not want to have surgery. But of course, being what it is and what they tell you, and because she had this huge lump in her breast, they decided to remove it. She had already said if they do, she is not going for chemo. She refused. And I think that had a lot to do with her mother. Her mother died of stomach cancer. And she saw what radiation and whatnot did to her, so I guess she just didn't, you know. Well, you know what? I kind of knew something was what was going on. So, you know, by working in the hospital, you know certain things, you see certain things. But again, with the strength that we had from the Lord, that's what took us through. So, I mean, you know, I got angry, I got upset, but I got over it real quick.
he's a tax collector type person, and he used to come to Fort Pierce every day to help people out. He lived in Port St. Lucie, and then he had to move because his house burned down, and so he used to come back to Fort Pierce every day to help with people who needed their taxes and stuff like that, because it's tax season. And one day they found him on the floor dead.
How old was he?
In his 40s, 50s.
One thing I have to say, and this is just something that I found out for myself, and it made it a lot easier. People will try to put their memories away of their, whoever it is, your sister, your brother, your mother, father, whoever. And the worst thing you can do is try and hide them in. The best thing you can do is to think about them in a good way. Remember all the good things, because, you know, we got punished as kids and whatnot, so there were good times and there were bad times. But you remember the good times. But don't hoard over it. Don't get depressed over it, because it's okay. You know, life is going to go on. Things are going to still happen no matter whether you want it to or not. So that's how I feel about that.